What's up, guys? Your boys are back. I'm Ryan, my man, George.
Yeah, what's shaking, guys? How you living out there? Shout out to the free thinkers. Shout out to everybody on Def the Radio, DEAF #2 Radio. That's our new Instagram. Make sure you guys follow us there.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Make sure you do that so that way you know when you're notified when we drop new videos. Also, up-and-coming artists, make sure you check out the link in the description if you want promotion on your song. We'll play about 60 seconds or so of your song at the beginning of one of our videos and kind of take the place in one of our intros to get you some exposure. So make sure you click that link in the description.
Real quick, Biohazard is an American hardcore band from Brooklyn, New York City. They are one of the earliest bands to fuse hardcore punk and heavy metal with elements of hip-hop. Punk, heavy metal, hip-hop in it.
Crossover
Brooklyn.
thrash.
Yeah, they got hardcore punk, heavy metal, rap metal, crossover thrash.
Okay.
Let's see what's going on, man. They
man.
said that this is one of the earlier bands to fuse hip hop with like metal. So let's see. I'm very curious because we have for those of you who don't know, we have a whole side of the channel that does hip hop reactions. I don't know. Some of y'all to this day are like, y'all do hip hop? Like, damn. All right, let's get into it, man. Biohazard Punishment.
Yeah, that's starting off pretty good. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was trying to, I was trying to catch it right when it was in familiar territory, like right in this dum before any changes came, because I want to, just lay it up for Ryan, man. Do you like what you hear right this second?
I love this right here. Sounds beautiful. I love those power chords, the dirtiness of those chords, and I don't know if you can hear that after it comes out of that boom 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 dan dan. It's like boom. I love those little chords in the back, and I know that that's a small thing, but I love those little
accents.
Yeah, man. It just makes a big difference, man. So yes, I'm glad you did that. Just in case it takes a detour, right? There we go. We try to give credit where credit's due early.
Yes, sir. Early. And I feel the same way. This sustain that they have in it as well, just the lingering riffs. Mm-hmm. It's just this, y'all know what we tend to like, man. It's called Punishment, so I'm curious to see how they like punish this shit. Like I want to see, what the zone. I don't know if that's what hardcore is about. Is it about like a certain attitude? When someone says, you guys need to do more hardcore. Hardcore just meaning just balls to the wall, heaviness, hardness. Because maybe that's some shit that we need to get more into.
Yeah, because we like that.
So this definitely sounds like it's going to be some hard shit. So we'll see though. How he laid that was hot.
I question not me, it only happens to others. I can't deny reality as life gets smothered.
Okay.
A lot of these little songs happen.
If the lines can be read between, maybe you can tell me
mid-sentence.
He'll face a big picture of the whole thing. Lock down, I gotta get it out. Impending doom, a cloud above my head. Why me? My faith has been devout. Lots of marks, am I better off dead? Punishment for all my sins. A birdie thought it's worth having no pity for all of humankind. We move far before falling behind. Zero death, will my life go on? Control fate on the corner rolling dice. Punishment! But I've done nothing wrong in my eyes. Who really pays the price?
Okay, all right.
It's not like some snakes on it.
Trinidad, I bring the truth. Punishment for what I've done.
They got some shit going on in here, man. They got some shit.
They do, man. This is interesting though, George, for me. I can't speak for you, but this is kind of like this is pulling on my emotional cords, man. Because parts of me is like, whoa, that was hot. And then other parts I'm like, yeah, that was kind of cringy. You know, like the rap type of, because I know that they do this hip hop kind of infusion. And that sound of the way the vocalist is approaching the track, I don't know if I like that. Well, I don't like that. But I love what they're doing musically. I just don't think it blends well with the hip hop element, in my opinion. I don't like the way that sounds together. But if I separate it, you know I say that a lot, guys, but that's the only way my brain can process what's going on. If I separate the lyrics from the music, and what's happening musically, I should say, I like it. I like it musically.
Yeah.
Musically, I think I like it a lot. It sounds good.
Shit. Yeah, man. You know, this is interesting. I agree. This is a really, really interesting space to be in because I'm going to just flat out say it. They sound like amateurs on the hip hop side. And this just reminds me of like when I watch the UFC sometimes, man. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry for UFC lovers. I'm sorry, man. There's a lot. Listen, it's just like seeing a UFC guy who's phenomenal in jiu-jitsu and is incredible on the ground. And then when you stand him up, he looks like an amateur with his hands. It's just like, it's just like you go from seeing some high level shit to like looking at a motherfucker that looks like he never threw a punch in his life. Now, I love watching specific fighters in the UFC, but sometimes it looks so amateurish to me because it's mixed martial arts.
Yeah. So
some guys are incredible in one discipline, but very, very novice in another discipline, and sometimes it's hard to watch, you know. And that's the feeling I got with listening to this. Like it's some high level shit going on with some of these riffs and how they're transitioning in the punk element. And I actually kind of like the punk. I can hear the punk, but I kind of like it actually in this particular case, which is, y'all know how we have talked about, you know, certain types of punk riffs. So they're actually pulling off this punk element, and the riffs are nasty. They're hard. They're lingering. But it's this obvious amateurish hip hop element in it that really just for me, it's gonna stop it from making my playlist. I hate to say it, but it's just not gonna happen. I know at this point, you know what I'm saying, when I put a song on, I just know I know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna be like, absolutely not. You know, it's cool to fall in love on camera on the spot, but then when reality hits, nah. But man, I want to give credit where credit is due. Some of these riffs and how they're transitioning out of these sort of doom, hard, slow bop riffs to then speeding it up to the punk, but then, you know, then adding in the accompany riffs. I'm gonna point it out. When I do this, that means that part is the certain arrangement of riffs in a certain part that were really nice as well. They got it, man. They got it in terms of just the instrumentation, but man, the rapping is just rough. All right, let's finish it up, guys.
Just ignore it. Just jam out.
These riffs right here.
The reality, we all believe the facts that the majority of the people getting doped up to the next into their veins. Question must be asked if we have any brains left. Or right or wrong in this song. A question we all ask and must answer for long. There's no one is safe in this world. What's the deal? Sentences that led to what caused the way of hell. Punishment for all my sins. I repent.
Yeah, they played this. Yeah, what a shame. What a shame. They really got busy though.
They
like,
did,
instrumentally, man.
They did, dude.
And I'm gonna say this, man, and I'm not really the one that be like, oh, but you know, live though. But in this particular case, I really do think that live that I would be able to overlook the rapping. I think
so,
live
too.
I would be so amped up from how nasty some of these riffs are, you know, that I think that I would really be able to overlook it. And it just probably come off a little bit better to me versus just sitting here and listening to someone make some egregious mistakes from a technical standpoint in rapping, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a hip hop guy at heart, so I could just tell that he's just not on beat often, especially towards the end. He wasn't even on beat. He was struggling, so it just sticks out like such a sore thumb to me. But outside of the rapping, man, and the shouting as well, that was the thing back in the 80s, or for punk as well, that shouting, like, I don't know what he was saying, I'm sorry, we weren't focusing on the lyrics too much, but the shouting aspects of it, right? When they had the group shouting, you know, I just don't like the way that sounds. But man, oh my goodness, man, some of them riffs were nasty, heavy, raw. You know, I'm gonna give it up to them, man. So if they come to Vegas, man, maybe a live show with them doing this song would work. And I completely understand though what it is about this song. This song can get you pumped up.
Yeah, it can.
This song can get you pumped up, and this shit can get you like moshing and going crazy. This is not like, I don't understand how someone could really get into this type of, it's not that type of song. So I understand it, but not playlist.
Not playlist for me either, man, but I enjoyed it though. Earlier in the first stop, I think it was, you said that the punk elements didn't bother you as much. And I agree with that. And I think the reason why is because it was still in the same rhythm of that slow groove that we liked. That, you know what I mean? Boom, 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 bam, and then it just sped it up. Boom, 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 bam,
not to mention the drumming in that too was a little, it wasn't the same exact, you know, drumming in it as well. Punk tends to be extremely like, from the songs we've heard. Just straightforward, this exact repetitious pattern. So they switched it up a little bit,
So that is what I think, well, I can only speak for me. That's why I didn't mind it and I liked it, because it kind of kept that same rhythm. Because typically when you get into the punk songs that we've done on the channel that I've heard, it's a deviation from the slower pace, the slower rhythm, slower groove. The way that was, it's like, and it's totally a deviation away from what got my head bobbing. You know what I'm saying? What got me nodding, like, dude. And then so being that they kept that same rhythm, but just sped it up, it was a lot more tolerable and palatable to me. Musically, though, I agree with you, man. They just destroyed that shit. I really liked it. I wasn't a real big fan of how they transitioned, but once they transitioned into different grooves, I really liked it. If they had an instrumental version of that probably would make playlists for me, to be honest with you. If there was an instrumental of this, I could probably groove out to it. You know what I mean? But yeah, dude, that was a really fun and enjoyable listen, even though it's not making my playlist, if that makes sense. You know, it was still enjoyable, and I enjoyed the shit. So
I really do feel like, Ryan, that this is one of those bands that's probably a lot more flawed in comparison to a lot of their contemporaries, but because they represent a hardness, a rawness, that people are able to overlook it and just get into their shit. Like what they seem to represent, because we were watching the video, just FYI. And it was on the Brooklyn Bridge. It looked grimy. It looked raw. And I really feel like people were like, just fuck all that. I don't give a fuck about the rapping. I don't give a fuck about it. Not saying you don't, but just when you were saying, look over, I think that's what people said, man, fuck that. I don't give a fuck. This shit is hard. They look hard. They sound hard. I just fuck with them and their movement and what they're about. And I really feel like that's probably a big reason on why Biohazard had the success that they had. In addition, dude, obviously they can play. And I know metalheads, man, if I was a betting man and there was like an anonymous poll that was presented, I would say that metalheads would say the instrumentation in metal is what, by far and large, is what they love about metal music. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that the lyrics and the vocals and all that don't matter. But if it were weighted, I think it would be heavily weighted to the rawness of them riffs and the heaviness and all that shit. And I just know from experience, based off of the comments I've seen on Patreon, YouTube, you know, on and on, every platform, which y'all tend to peek out and talk about often. So I say that to say, man, I can see the allure of Biohazard. And let's get back to them, man. Let's see something else. That's the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed it, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And also, guys, check out our Patreon channel if you're interested. It will allow you to get exclusive access to our content. The link for that will be in the description. I'm George. That's Ryan. Lost to Vegas.
We out.